Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to show you how to do the infinity cowl. This is a ribbed version and you can see that it's here, so you may see it more better when you're wearing it as well. So when you do ribs, it has a beautiful stretch to it, and this is Caron Latte Cakes. This is absolutely just incredibly soft and amazing to work with. Let me tell you a little bit about that. So I picked this yarn up over at Michael's. Caron Cakes generally is exclusive to Michael's, so that's where you're going to find this. It's a brand new yarn as of September 2018. So all this that you see is left when you're working with this. So you got a lot left over. You could probably even make two of these, not necessarily the same size, but two different versions if you'd like. And this is really amazing. So over the years we know that you know, eyelash yarn kind of feels itchy and scratchy, but that's old technology. Now we're moving on, and the yarn companies have figured out how to make all these beautiful eyelash yarns incredibly soft and no itch. So this actually is a mix of acrylic and nylon, and which is actually the nylon is part of the eyelash yarn. So there's no wool in this product, so people don't need to worry about that. So what you're going to need in order to do this particular cowl is a 6.5mm size K crochet hook. I have a free downloadable pattern for this as well, and let's talk about the assembly of this because this is really quite easy as long as you understand it. So because it's an infinity cowl, it will always have the twist to it. Okay, so whenever you're looking at it, it will always have that. So if you don't want that when you're going to prepare, and I'll show you in the tutorial when you're going to do that, because if you just want a straight up cowl you can do that as well. So what's going to happen is that you're going to start off in the middle, and because it's infinity you're going to crochet along the top edge, but because we're going to apply a twist to it, a 180-degree twist to it when we go after round number 1, it creates it, so you're going to follow along and it just goes up. So let's follow this particular edge here. So follow it, see it comes down and around and then back up, and look, it comes over and then underneath and then back around and then back over to here. So what you're going to notice in this particular design is that you literally are rotating around twice. Because you're rotating around twice, it's growing not only on the top side, but it's also growing on the bottom side as well. And so you'll notice that when you do the stripes is that the colors here are matching almost like mirrors, because you are going around just like you see and then coming back around. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get you started nice and easy. This is in multiples of 2. I'm going to show you how to cheat the system just in case the ribs aren't working out for you, and I'll show you where to do that here in the tutorial as well. So let's grab our Caron Latte Cakes and let's get going. So let's get going, and the eyelash yarn may be invisible because of my white background. So let's begin. We're going to create a slip knot, and you need to chain a total of 100. Now 100 is divisible by 2, so that will keep it in sets of 2. So if you'd like to change your size, then you just add more as long as it's in set to 2. So I'm not going to do 100 with you on camera. I'm only going to show you just a small sample, and you can do the rest and it will all work out. So let's begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I'm gonna show you a trick. So just do another 5, so like 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. What I want you to do is take this off the hook and put your first chain on. So make sure that it is not twisted in any way. So when you go to put on the first one, so it's not twisted, go and put on the first one and then insert this back on and continue along. So 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and when you're done your 100, then what's happened is that this is already attached. You can just pull it through and you know that this is not twisted in any weird way. So it's kind of a cheating technique. So get your 100 done and meet me back here in just a moment. So I now have 30. I told you I was going to do a small sample, so 30 is my magic number. You're going to have 100. So after you get your 30th on there, just pull it through the first one, and therefore you should have it, and it should not be twisted up in any kind of weird way, but we're going to organize this anyway when we go to start the next round. So to start the next round, what we need to do is that we need to chain up 1, and I want you to turn it and get the back hump of the stitch. Okay, do you see it? It's popping up, and I want you just to go into the back hump only of the chain there and single crochet. Once you get the first back hump, the other one should be facing up as well, and you're going to continue then to single crochet all the way around, but do not attach it when you get all the way around. Meet me back here in just a moment. I'm going to show you the technique so that you can have your infinity cowl, and if you don't want your infinity cowl to be infinity and just a regular one, I'll show you how to cheat the system there too. So either way you're good to go. So meet me back here in just a moment. Just single crochet in each chain all around. So now that you're all the way around, what I want you to do is pull up a large loop and just grab a spare piece of yarn and just pull it through the top of that stitch. And this is going to indicate to you when you're all the way around in the future. So this is a nice marker that you can just keep. It's just spare yarn. So what you want to do is that you want to organize yourself. So if I was to continue right now, you'll see that it's going to be a regular cowl. So you can see that the top edge over here, when you follow it around, is the top edge over here. So if you want a regular cowl that will be ribbed, you're just going to continue as I'm about to show you. However, if you want the infinity, which is the whole point, I want you to flip the first section upside down. So just flip it, just flip that one section, and now that is where you're going to go right into this first stitch. So now that you flipped it, that's a 180-degree flip down. I want you just to immediately double crochet into that stitch. So you're technically crocheting on the bottom side of that first stitch, just like that. So pull everything nice and tight. So what I want you to do is that I want you to work all the way around until you get back to that stitch marker on where you are. Now that you've applied your 180 twist, if you follow that top and go all the way around, you will notice that it will flip over and it will be on the underside coming around, and then it will take you 2 revolutions to basically get back to where you are. So please double crochet all the way around until you hit that stitch marker once again. If you hit it after the very first round, you've not twisted it, and if it's the second round, then you're good to go. So please just double crochet all the way around back to the stitch marker. So I'm now continuing around. I have not got all the way back to the stitch marker. I want to prove something to you. So I'm coming back around and I'm about to see where that stitch marker is. But do you notice where it is? It's actually on the underside. So as I continue around, you're going to continue and pass by that one because you're now on the other side of that stitch. Okay, you're on the other side of that beginning single crochet. So if I happen to hit that stitch immediately after the first round, then what's happened is that I've not applied a twist to it. So you're just continuing to go all the way around. The first time that you go around this thing, you may be a little bit clumsy at doing it, but once you get it established, then you're good to go. And we're just doing a single crochet, or sorry, a double crochet in each stitch going all the way around. So continue to go all the way around, and just like I'm showing you, and then meet me back here when we hit that stitch marker, because we're then going to switch to the rib stitching, which is the back post and the front post, in order to achieve that. So I'm coming all the way back around to where I had started, and essentially see that the chain that you started with is directly in the middle of this. So these are the double crochets on both sides, and that happens when you do that 180 twist, which is really neat. And with this Caron Latte Cakes, it makes the colors kind of mirror each other. So here I am on the last stitch, so I'm going to just double crochet in the last stitch, and then we're going to change to do something different. So we're going to then start applying your rib stitching. So don't be afraid to kind of, if it's in your way, just kind of keep twisting, and it will always have that permanent twist in it. So you're going to now to begin to do round number 3. So round number 3, we're going to immediately start, and you're going to start with a front post double crochet. So just coming in, going into the side of the stitch, pull through 2 and 2. The next one will be a back post double crochet. So wrap and going from the back side and then out through the back, pull through, and then pull through 2 and 2. That's your double crochet. So let's review. So wrap, coming into the side of the stitch. You may be able to see it better in person than you can on camera. So pull through, go through to the other side, pull through 2 and 2. Then to the other side, so wrap, coming through the back side, back out to the back. So these are back posts and front posts, and all you're just going to do is that you're going to get yourself established and do this all the way back till you get to that stitch marker once again. So you're creating this whole idea of getting these ribs started for round number 3, which you're doing now. So you'll notice that the colors will change on you automatically in the yarn. They're not tied, it's a dye concept, but the eyelash yarn is the same color throughout, so it makes the colors quite muted and fabulous. So continue to alternate between front posts and back posts for your double crochets going all the way back to the stitch marker. So not all the way around, there's that stitch marker, but you can see that we're not completely finished. We're only just a part way of the round. So I've gone away around once, but then I still have to continue around to get myself back to where it started. So you can see here in person, like maybe you can't see it on camera, but here's where the posting started. So you can see that I still have to come all the way back around to that position. So just keep an eye on that, and I'll see you at the end of this round, and then we're gonna continue, and the remaining then of this project is then up to you, because it's really quite easy to follow, and I'll show you how to cheat if something is going wrong at the end of this. So here I am, and I am almost there. So I got 2 stitches left, and then you can start seeing that I got my front post here. I want to show you a cheating technique. So I've done an error on purpose, just in case that you have this error too. So what's happened is that I got a front post, and the next one should be back post, and the first one should be front post. So therefore I've got an extra stitch here. How you can get rid of that, and it's barely noticeable with this yarn, which is fabulous, is that I would put the 2 that are in the next one is a back post, put the 2 together. So wrap the hook coming in through the back, through the front, first one, and then over and past the second one, and then go back out, and then pull that together, like as far as like your back post double crochet. And what that did is that it did a decrease. It's barely noticeable when you're done a project. So now that you've got it established right, if you hadn't already, then what you have here is that you just immediately start with the next one. So the next one is a front post double crochet, so keep it as a front post double crochet. The next one is a back post double crochet, so keep it as a back post. You're doing ribbing, so you're just gonna match exactly what you see, and it's easy to remember too. And so this is all that it takes in order for you to have this particular cowl. So what you're going to do is that you're going to continue to revolve around this now until you get to the size that you want. I decided to do mine 9 inches, which is about almost 3/4 of a ball, or about half to 3/4, and you're going to then continue and stop until you're satisfied. As the colors change, you will notice that the colors will appear on this project. So let me just back up the camera and just let me show you. So as you continue to wrap or rotate around, as the colors change, you'll see that it mirrors each other, and you'll see that it will really develop before your very own eyes. Once you're satisfied with this, I'm gonna show you how to finish off, and you can see that it's absolutely just amazing, and it feels so incredible. So if you can just rotate it any which way that you want to, so there's really no front or back to this. It's completely infinity. So let me show you how to finish off once you're ready. So let's just say I'm satisfied and I'm done. So what you can just do is just immediately, there's no slip stitching as far as like ending a row. All you just want to do is that in the next 3 stitches I want you to single crochet. So 1 and then 2 and 3. That's all it takes. So what you're gonna do then is just cut that yarn, and you're going to throw it onto a darning needle. So just pull this through. This yarn is so easy to work with. It's almost a misconception of, you look at eyelash yarn and you think it's impossible to work with. Not this one. This one's been really well designed. So you're just gonna take it onto a tapestry needle, and you're just gonna drag it through the stitch work underneath, just like that. So just once, and pull it so it matches. Okay, so it's gonna match, and then go back in the other direction. So this is your twice. And finally in the other direction one more time. You always go through a different path each time so that it catches in different fibers, and then you can just safely trim out. So if you remember, we have our starting strand that you'll find here. So this will always have a twist, as you see. So you can take out your stitch marker, and what I would recommend then, this starting strand, just run it through at least once. It's already tied as a slip knot when you start, and if you want to go twice, if you have that extra yarn, you can do that. So just going through, just stay in the stitch work. So once, and just go twice. I would do 3 times, but you may not have that much luxury as far as leaving on an extra long yarn tail. So you can just safely trim that out. So what we have here is that we have a miniature version of your infinity cowl. So no matter how you twist it, it'll always have, see, it'll always have that. So you can enjoy your new cowl. This feels exceptionally soft. This is a great evening project in front of the TV. Once you get yourself established on the ribs, it's really nice, and I've sized it in a way that it will hug your neck and fit inside your coat, and enjoy. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Yarn Inspirations as well as the crochetcrowd.com. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.